Welcome back. We are covering 25 mistakes billionaires have made, and number 13 is Carlos Slim. I like that name. It's either got a uh, criminal ring to it or just like a cool baller name. And I think it's a cool baller name. I don't know anything about this guy really besides what I've researched and the mistake that shared about him. But again, the bigger the baller, the bigger the mistake. But before we jump into number 13, Carlos Slim, I want to encourage you to do me a favor and click the positive feedback mechanism on whatever platform you happen to be watching or listening to this on. Greatly appreciated. It encourages me to keep producing content for you, and then also lets the platform know that you appreciate it, and helps them distribute it to other like-minded, beautiful, talented, type A, high IQ folks like yourselves. And again, it's just an encouragement to me as well. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in on Mr. Carlos Slim. He is estimated at about $77 billion as of the time that I'm recording this, right? And so again, just to let you know, those price points in terms of, somebody's net worth of billionaires is, going to fluctuate depending on what kind of stocks or, however they're calculating their net worth overall. But if somebody has some of their net worth valued in stocks, those stocks can move up and down on a day. So, I mean, and when you get to be 77 billion, you can lose $1 million or $2 million in a day, depending on what's going on. And if there's a black swan event or whatever that looks like, right? So the mistake that he made though, and again, there's several of these, right, that we've been covering back in the .com bubble. And I think that with this whole blockchain, cryptocurrency, DeFi, CeFi, industry that's just getting ready to explode, we're just right on the starting blocks of this whole industry. I think you're going to see a lot more of these mistakes of people who should have invested, should have, bought Bitcoin when it was 33 cents or $3 or $33 for that matter, right? And look back with regret, and there'll be a lot more stories than there already are, but there's already a significant amount of stories like that, right? But here's the mistake that Mr. Slim made in terms of his investment. He invested about $800 million into CompUSA, and this was back in about 2000, right? And as we all know, what took place, and maybe you don't know, I mean, a lot of folks are, weren't even born back in 2000 that may be listening to this, but if you were around during the .com bubble burst, that there's a lot of companies that went the way of the dodo, and so I think that this is one of those. So he poured in initially 800 million. That's just his initial investment to purchase CompUSA, which is already struggling at the time, right? And that was before the .com bubble burst. It was before laptops became more prevalent than desktops were. And so after all is said and done, he sold it for, not even close to what it was worth. But at the end of the day, I think he ended up losing about $2 billion. Now, I know a lot of us, again, would be happy to, even have 1% of that in our bank accounts, let alone losing it. But, again, like I mentioned in the beginning, he's currently worth an estimated 77 billion. But again, sometimes people don't make wise decisions and don't see the writing on the wall. And I think a lot of people are, like I mentioned earlier, with this whole cryptocurrency, blockchain, DeFi, CeFi, XFi, that's getting ready to take place. I think a lot of people are going to miss it that could have been millionaires, even let alone billionaires, because it just caught them off guard. They're not paying attention to how the financial system is changing, how it's going to completely change the banking industry as we know it. And but anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's why I'm doing this, just to kind of give you a heads up about mistakes people can make, and you can recover from it though. That's the beautiful thing about it, right? If you're paying attention and learning from other people's mistakes, hopefully your mistakes won't be as large or as costly when you get to be that big baller. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Before we go, do me a favor, if you wouldn't mind, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, if you click the positive feedback mechanism on whatever platform you happen to be listening or watching this on, greatly appreciated. It encourages me, also lets the platforms know that the content's appreciated and helps them distribute it to other like-minded folks. So that's going to do it, and we'll talk to you at the next video.